Go ahead and get comfy. It's all good.
All right.
Like, you got 2 waters. You're lucky. Okay. Oh, everybody's got 2. Okay, well, voice act. Well, hydration is important. All right.
Mine's got electrolytes in it because that's what plants crave.
And you're
Yeah,
a
but
plant?
what are electrolytes? It's what plants crave.
It's what plants crave.
Okay, 2 people seen that movie. All right, good. Okay. If you haven't seen Idiocracy, well, we're living in it now.
Yes.
Kind of way too. Well, friends, thanks for joining us here this weekend. Have a good time so far.
Yes.
Always.
Also, yes.
Very good. Well, I sort of took the poll of the audience, so we're kind of split. So I have a couple of fun recollection questions about voice acting, and a couple of data that maybe might help them on their individual journey. So, since I was liking voice acting to getting into Narnia, nobody gets in the same way twice.
That's right.
So, for each of you, what was your voice acting origin story?
Oh, God, hi! Me! I was a real hyperactive kid, and my mom stuck me into theater classes when I was pretty young, grade schoolish. And so that was in Fort Smith, Arkansas, the Children's Theater. And so I did that, and that really helped me get over anxiety and trying to, figuring out what an audition was and trying to do all that. And so kind of stuck with that through high school. And I played around with radio stuff in college and a little after. And it was those 2 elements that kind of allowed for the opportunity at Funimation to happen. And so there you go. That's how it happened.
And it helped being all that engineering stuff and everything else too, right?
Sure. Well, that was the radio stuff. That's where that came from, yeah.
That works.
I have a theater degree, so I was an actor person. And actually, the reason I was pointing at him was because he was the person who cast me first in Fruits Basket.
No take backsies.
I believe that was 3 or 4 years ago, right? Just a couple of years. We've only been in it for a couple of years.
Pretty new, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Fruits Basket. And then he cast me in Yu Hakusho as well as jury. And so from then, I don't remember after that. I remember my first 2, and then it just spiraled into this whole career. Yeah.
Well, my story is different. I did theater in middle school and high school, but I was never like, wow, I want to do this for a living, because I was like 4'11", and to be on screen as a woman, you have to be like 5'7" at least. So I was like, well, I'll never be on TV. But that was fine because I had much bigger aspirations. I wanted to be a professional comic book artist. And so that's what I did. I made my own manga. It was about unicorns that turned into hot dudes. I will say that while it sounds amazing, the story was lacking, and I can admit that. It was more about the idea and less about plot. But writing comics is how I eventually got into writing for anime, because once they found out I could do that, they were like, we want to hire you. And Jamie trained me. So, yeah, she was my teacher. But I got into acting after I had already been doing conventions as an artist. I was like, oh, Funimation, you voice act, that's cool. How do you get into that? It's our favorite question. We love being asked that question. And it was Bruce Lewis was who I was talking to, because he was also an artist. And he was like, oh, well, they do open auditions. You could probably just sign up. And I was like, okay, I'll Google it. And I did. I Googled it. And at the time, there was a form that you submitted through Funimation's website. This was like 13 years ago. I've been doing it longer than both Justin and Jamie. So, but I didn't have a demo. I literally, like, my email was like, hi, this is my range. Also, I can bark like a dog because I was Toto in The Wizard of Oz. Hit me back if you're interested. Okay, love you, bye. And I thought, I'll never hear from them again. That was a dumb email. And then 5 months later, they emailed me like, do you still want to do this? And I was like, I do. Yes, thank you for your interest. And then I was like, oh my God, I don't know anything about voice acting. I only know about stage acting. So I did what any respectable person would do, and I Googled it again. And there was a lot of great information out there. Google has a lot of information. So I Googled it, and I was like, I think I know what I'm going to do. I practiced reading out loud and recording myself and listening back to be like, what is good, what sounds mushy. went in there, I did open auditions. I got called back, which was a surprise. I didn't expect that to happen. And it's continued to be a surprise every single time I booked something new in the last 13 years. I'm like, what, really? Me? Okay.
Very nice, very nice. And if anybody's, again, looking on the journey, I'll throw my 2 cents. In 2005, Walt Disney World was looking for improv actors that had video game experience, not acting-wise, but actually playing video games. And I had been out of comedy for a couple of years. Somebody threw it at me. I walked on in. They gave us a side. Okay, you're a two-headed monster. So, and I just figured, okay, they're probably looking for diversity in the heads and stuff like that. And that turned out to be the attraction, the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor at the Walt Disney World. And I was there for 14 years, and that led me to do Dr. Punson Honeydew for the Muppets, and a certain gold protocol robot for Star Wars that I just stick
Does
with it.
it
Yeah,
rhyme
whatever.
with Shmee Fee 40?
Something like that.
Okay.
Something like that. But the whole thing is, though, it's interesting to look over this way too. Was Imagineering was pushing us into, oh yeah, really go with that voice, really go with that voice, and within the first 5 weeks of the show when it fully opened, and it was a thrill and spill show. So one show ends, another show begins, and actors would 2 shows in a row, and you rotate out. At 5 weeks, most of us were on vocal rest because they just wanted us to do these characters and like, oh, yeah, well, you humans, blah, 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 too. So, and that's something that may come on up about knowing your limits and staying within them and not trying to do a Hail Mary to, if you feel like, oh, if I do this, maybe I'll get it, and then you get it, and now you've got to do it, and you can't. It's not about knowing your limits in a sense of know your place, it's know your instrument. So, throwing it out there for those about to embark in this journey. For everybody, what was everybody's biggest challenge to date as a voice actor?
For me, it was because I'd only done stage acting. I could cold read, but I couldn't get into character in a cold read. So when I first started acting, I did about 1.5 years worth of background voices and Walla. And I auditioned for a lot of shows, but I could never book anything. The most I could do was book Walla, and I finally noticed that the people that were booking, I had like this come to Jesus meeting with myself. I noticed that the people that were booking consistently weren't just doing anime voice acting. They were doing commercial VO, they were doing actual like everyday theater. I couldn't do theater because I had 2 young children at the time and a full-time job, and so I didn't have the time for it. And I, stupidly, thought, oh, voice acting, well, that'll be a fun way to just do acting on the side, not anticipating that I was like, oh, no, I love this, and I want to do it for a living. But I wasn't treating it like something I wanted to do for a living. I was treating it like a fun side thing, and I realized that if I ever wanted it to be what I wanted it to be, I had to start putting in the work. And I knew that I struggled with cold reading and getting into character quickly. And so I started doing improv, and I hired an acting coach. And if I had a rough session, I would talk about it in my session with my acting coach. I'm like, this is the thing I struggled with. Can you help? And within 6 months of doing that, of like really studying and like dedicating myself to the craft, I went from only booking additional voices like once every couple of months to I booked my first reoccurring character in Assassination Classroom because Joel saw me putting in the work, and he told me that. And he was like, usually when people ask me for advice, they don't take it. He's like, but you did. And I was like, well, I want to keep doing this, so I got to put in the work. And so for me, that was the biggest challenge is having to eat a big old slice of humble pie at the beginning of my career. But I'm glad I did, because it makes me appreciate everything else in my journey. So when I do have a big win, I'm like, I know that I worked for this.
Excellent.
Challenges. These lights are a challenge right now for me.
I can't see any of you.
But you all look amazing.
They're out there, trust me.
It's shadows. It's like where there's just a room full of ghosts. Tis the season. I was trying to think. I don't know. A lot of our challenges are fun.
Yeah.
So it's hard to think
No,
of them. You know what I
you
mean?
take it in a fun direction, yeah.
I've been trained for 26 years now to take the word challenge and change it to opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
like that.
So that's kind of the way I tend to look at things. I don't do well with challenges, but opportunities I'm okay with.
Right.
No, and that's
and
a philosophy
Justin,
we're trying to get into, yeah.
You have the opportunity to handle a lot of actors. What a fun opportunity that must be for you.
Now that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, I guess it's not as much in voice acting, but it's trying to, trying to hold casts together for 25 or more years. That's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for friendships, is what it is, and that's what it's turned into. That turns out that's the kind of the best way.
Would you say, in your position though, sometimes those friendships are opportuned, possibly a little strained?
Like taken advantage of.
No, I haven't experienced that. I have an ability to kind of keep that at bay, and a lot of that is that I'm not necessarily doing casting, so there's very little they can get out of me in that regard.
Yeah.
So, no, this has been an incredible journey, the whole thing, and they're really in reflection on it. And maybe that's another thing with challenges or opportunities is when you're looking back at it, it doesn't seem as rough anymore as it was when you're going through it. So that's probably why it's hard for me to go, oh, I recollect that this was a real pain in the keister. But you know what? At the end of the day, every decision and every opportunity we've taken or challenge we've risen above, that's what's led us to this very moment at this place.
Yeah.
So, yay.
Yeah, our opportunity now are the rose-colored glasses we get to wear when we look through the past. Because, I mean, there are years of hustling, and things got hard, and 2007, 2008, everything crashed. That was really hard, and everybody was, trying to do what they could to pay their bills. But you look back, and it was like we were so blessed to still be able to do that, even though it was hard. We were having a great time doing it. So, I mean, we were stressed, don't get me wrong. But what a great opportunity to pay those bills.
I feel
It's
like
doing some fun.
the pandemic presented a lot of us with opportunities. But in all honesty, like it really did, because it was frustrating at first because like suddenly you had to learn how to do a lot of things that you weren't doing before. And we invested in a home booth, and we learned how to like kind of self-engineer and stuff like that. But because I'd done all that for like Funimation at the time, it also gave me the, for lack of a better word, balls to go for an LA talent agent. Because I'm like, well, if Funimation is using LA talent, that means there's LA studios that are looking for anybody with a good home studio. Yeah. And I have that. And so that's what made me get my LA agent, like go for it, and it worked. Like, and I don't know if I would have had really the, what I needed to do that. Like, I don't know if I would have felt brave enough without being put in that position that I needed to do it.
COVID created the opportunity for a lot of people to discover anime, especially series that they heard, oh, One Piece, that's like 1,000 episodes, man, don't get in it. But all of a sudden, a lot of people had the time, and a lot, they got a chance. Everybody was kind of into it a little bit, but then everybody was getting a chance to explore other shows and stuff like that. So new fandoms were developed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think from being in it so long, from the early days of cons to now, is insane to see the difference. When you would go to conventions and you were just like the dub actor at you, and like you definitely were treated that way. To now, it's very cool. It's very cool.
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys.
From a fan point of view, it's kind of crazy because I've been an anime fan since I was 15, which was like 1999-ish. And the only way to get merchandise was to either go to a con or go to Hot Topic. And now I walk into Walmart and I'm like, oh, hey, there's My Hero Academia just In the game section, there's a bunch of My Hero Academia toys. There's T-shirts. There's all kinds of anime T-shirts and merchandise at Walmart, at Target. Like, I'm like, you guys don't know how good you have it now.
Thank you for that as well. by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, because it didn't used to be that way. And so, but now it is.
Come a long way from the VHS years.
That's right. That's how I used to collect my anime.
Yeah.
When we started, we were literally recording to tape. So you'd have to record, like you'd have to watch it and then rewind the tape. Yep.
Take two.
I cannot imagine having to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I would not have lasted.
It was an interesting thing because you'd get that direction and then still have to wait 30, 40 seconds before you got to actually do the next take.
But we had paper scripts, so you could take the note, you could write the note on the script. So in that time, you could be like working on it.
I hear that a lot from your peers, that it seems like a lot of people really miss those scripts. And that ability to do the little notes and stuff
There's
like
not time to write the notes down now.
Yeah.
Digital at this point, as soon as a direction is given, you can record the new line.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the instant gratification for the voice director of hearing what it is they've just asked you to do is so much faster now.
I think I would miss
For the
the
memory of
coziness.
the actor. Like, what did you say? It's been 5 seconds. I have no idea what you just said to me.
I have worked on some things in LA, now that we live in LA, that still have paper scripts, like games or even a few dub things. And I'm so used to digital scripts that they're like, okay, now we're on loop 37. I'm like going through all my papers. I'm like, loop 37, loop 37. I'm like, it's taking so long. I'm so sorry.
What
I
is
remember-
this paper?
I remember the days when like leads or even others would go to the end of the script and then start counting backwards, so that, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up the numbered script up all their lines, so that as they proceeded through the episode, they'd be able to see their countdown of how close they were to the end of the script. So there's a lot of little advantages to the paper scripts.
Yeah.
Definitely. What's everybody's standard advice that you give when you ask, hey, what advice would you give somebody who wants to pursue voice acting?
In my opinion, the number one reason why actors get out of this business is they quit. So don't do that.
That's good, yeah. Mine is, I think a lot of people think it's about the voice. I had a gentleman come up to me once at a con, and he was like, I do a really great Mickey Mouse. I'm like, yeah, let's hear it. And he did it. It was great. It was good. I was like, okay, now give me Mickey Mouse like Pluto just got run over by a train. And he was like, I can't do that. And I'm like, why not? And he was like, well, that's not something Mickey Mouse would do. I'm like, well, that's your problem. I'm like, because it's not just about doing the voice. It's about acting believably in that voice. And a lot of people think it's voice acting, but they kind of forget about the acting part. And it's cool to be able to do a voice, but more believably is you have to be able to do the challenging stuff. You have to be able to break down and cry. You have to yell. You have to be murderous. You have to be sad. You have to be withdrawn. You have to be able to do all those things on the fly. And sometimes you're pouring your heart out. You're like, then you wait. And then they go, that was great. We just need it to be like 2 seconds faster. And you're like, okay, great. Be terribly sad, 2 seconds faster. You got it. And you have to be able to take that direction and stuff like that.
To justify that just a minute, you get to.
It is the opportunity to do that.
You get to cry.
The opportunity to try. But yeah, I think there is a misconception about, you just have to be able to do the voice. It's a bonus to do the voice, but what you need to aspire to is to be able to believably do something with, it's all in your imagination, especially if it's a game. You don't always have visuals. You have to be able to do it believably so that people are immersed.
Vivid imagination, very helpful.
Yes.
What I always like to say now, Joel McDonald did us a huge favor, and he wrote a book that you can get on Amazon. It's called Getting In, and then there's the rest of the title like it's an anime. But Getting In, Joel McDonald will get you there. I actually have a copy at my table. You can come take a picture of it.
The guide to the greatest gig there is.
Thank you.
I own the book.
Yeah, and he's got it on Audible now too, so you can listen to it. It's not very long, but I think it's a great resource for more information than we could tell you on this stage.
Yes.
And then you can and then you can dog ear it or take notes.
Because, and I have read it, it's not just about like the technical side of things, it's also the things that maybe you don't know, like what not to do in an audition, how not to behave, like the things that aren't always covered. Joel has covered, and so it's really good on that. If you're ever looking for like it really is a guide. I would recommend it.
Yeah, first starting out, I would say auditioning, just forget the booking the part, just audition to be invited to audition again. You know, that's something they were, because that means they like you and they haven't figured out something for you, but you're in their minds, and you're a possibility, and that's so vital.
People will ask, like, if you went into an audition for X show, did you really want to audition specifically for this character? And was that what you? I mean, the answer is always no. How? I mean, that's some arrogance to run in and be like, no, cast me as Goku. You know, that's who I'm gonna be. Now, you go into an audition, as you said, hoping you get called back for another audition, but booking that character or booking a character, oh, forget that. Don't. Plus, if you don't get it, you'll be so hung up about it.
Yes.
You know, go in, clean slate. Whatever you can get is what you're going to get. It's awesome.
One of the many classes I've taken over the years they said something that has stuck with me all these years, and this is how I try to think of it when I do an audition. Do an audition as if you already have the part. You do. For the time you're doing that audition, you are that character. And that's such a fun way to think about it. Like, maybe I won't get to keep playing this character, but for this 10 minutes, I'm this character. This is how, I just think, like, if I had this part, this is how I would do it. And I do it. And there's so many times I walk out, and I'm like, man, that audition is so effing good. And I don't always book it, but it's not a personal thing. It's just, that's not the voice they're looking for. It doesn't mean I didn't do good work. So if I walk out of an audition and I feel good, then mission accomplished.
That's awesome. I have an inner voice that after every read I give just goes, that was horrible. Why would you have even done that?
That voice is such a jerk.
What does
Don't
that
listen
voice
to that
know?
voice. So wrong.
Takes
so
her forever. And another thing in that process too, whether even if it's recording now as we do, the attractions still have you come on in actually and like get in front of the table, you know, the good old days. But make a choice. Make a choice to take to it, but be prepared if they say back it up and try it like this. Be ready for that. But too, it's that malleability. And like I said, you never know. A lot of my Disney roles I would do for Imagineering special events was always because of a choice I made in something else. 6 and 9 months later, I'd get a call saying, come on in. Hey, yeah, you did this thing when you did audition for the pirate. We want that character voice that you did in that thing. So you just never know. You just never know. You're planting these seeds.
I always say, too, it's better to go hard because it's easy to pull actors back. And it's better to, especially like in video game auditions, if you like really go for something and they were like, wow, that was too much. Like, one, they don't usually think that because they're like, oh, good, she can do this. And then once you get in, they're like, okay, that was great. Let's just pull it back a little bit. You're like, no problem. So it's always easier to pull an actor back than to try to push them to go further.
if they feel like, if you're directing and you feel in an audition like someone, if you don't commit, you're communicating to the director that you can't go there. And so a director is never going to cast someone who they don't think can go there. They'll cast someone who goes above and beyond because at least they can get there.
Yeah.
And most of the time, newer actors, voice actors who don't have a lot of experience don't commit and go there, and that's why they're not getting cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, leave the embarrassment at the door.
Yeah.
Embrace the embarrassment. Be embarrassed.
Yeah.
If
If you're not embarrassed, you're not doing it right. It's a very embarrassing job.
It's like being in a zoo. There's like a window, everyone's looking at you, and you're in here like, all right, well, today I play a boy, better spread my legs and crouch and make room for my boy balls. Like, that's what I do. No one's ever said anything. They just know that's what I do to make the boy voice happen.
There you go. This is always a fun one. No, I'll jump in the audience. What was the, everybody can call, what was the craziest effort you've ever been asked to do? And those who know that effort is a non-verbal. It's like, oh, you got to fall from a 30-story building. But
Yeah.
Or a little more prevalent in video game acting, but
No, all of mine are anime.
The first one that pops up in my head is Detective Conan. My character is on a roller coaster, so she's screaming as she's going down the roller coaster, and then when she gets to the bottom, the guy next to her heads off. So the scream changes mid-scream into a horrified scream. It was great. It was so much fun. It was 1,000 years ago.
I have two. Well, I was doing a bit part for Chris Bevins. I was doing a bit part. It was like this fangirl, but she was kind of heavy set. And so he was like, yeah, we're dancing right around it. Can you do it again and just make it sound more fat? And I'm like, I was like, I don't.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, it was early. Yeah, it was early.
Early
It was early in the career, guys.
It was a different time.
Today, I don't think we could get around. We could get away with that. But I was like, I don't. We all just sound the same. I think I settled for like, I could do this. Yeah. Maybe she's got a stuffy nose. Like that was a weird one. And the second weirdest one was I was doing a show called Made in Abyss, which is a really sad show where nothing good ever happens. And the direction I was given was, yeah, and now just give me like a sad sob, you know, because your friend turned into a uterus. And it wasn't a joke. That's what happened. And I was like, yeah, no, I get that direction all the time.
He turned into a what?
She turned into a uterus.
That's what I thought I heard.
Yeah, no, you heard right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
Made in
right.
Abyss. It fools you with its really cute style.
Okay.
Yeah, you now make this sad noise because your friend turned into a uterus. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard that one. Okay.
We have line counts, and sometimes you'd see that, like, you have, you know, usually it'll be like, well, usually there'll be more lines than there are reactions. So when you go in and see a line count where there's a great number more reactions than there are lines, that scared me during Yu Hakusho. It's just a lot of screaming, but I don't know how crazy that was, but it was a lot of fun to do. In the cave, yeah.
That one, yes.
Oh my god.
What is going on back there?
Oh.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Surprise! Ta-da!
Your character finds a water bottle behind you. And
Wait
you
another
have to,
15 minutes, will another one come out?
Oh no, the couch is a uterus.
oh. All right. Well, friends, thank you so much for sharing these insights. Absolutely wonderful. Before I come in the audience, though, as always, I just want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for your talents and your professionalism and all these performances you brought throughout your entire careers. Your collective body of work is just so wonderful. But so much smiles, so much entertainment, and done such fantastic work. So on behalf of myself and the fans, just thank you.
Thank you for letting us be here.
All right, if anyone wants to meet me at the X there, let me set up my clock so we're on time.
I love it. I was
You didn't
enjoying
get your
every minute.
stickers. Come back
What's
by
that?
and get your stickers.
Stickers?
I have stickers.
I want stickers.
That's okay, I got candy.
Right now it's just Kirishima.
I will put Kirishima on my...
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Rianne. My question is, out of all the characters you voice, who do you think you could beat in a fight?
Who do I think I could beat in a fight?
Of all the characters you voice.
Let me think about all the small children I
I
voice.
know, right? I have a lot of very tough characters.
I can't beat a darn one of them. I tried to make friends with them. We'd figure out a way to change that little controversy into something more pleasant.
Yeah, we'd have cocktails and fix everything.
There it is.
We would turn the controversy into an opportunity.
Right, that's right. No fighting, only opportunities.
Hey, you get 2 for the first one. Good way to start us off with. Go. Hello.
It's my ex-husband.
Hey, what's your name?
My name is McCartney.
What you got?
So my friend wanted to know what your favorite thing about your MHA character is.
What our favorite what is?
Your MHA character.
Oh, MHA character.
I thought you said animation. I was like,
What's your-
can we
yeah,
be
yeah,
more
what's-
specific?
what's your favorite thing?
Favorite thing about your MHA, My Hero
Oh, is it a favorite thing? I
Academia.
just
Yeah.
thought it was a favorite
Yeah.
character.
Oh, Boku no Hero
That's a
Academia.
different answer.
Favorite thing about your character.
I love Kirishima's heart. I want a T-shirt that just says Kirishima cares. I feel like he might grow up to be like a therapist or something to that effect. That may
Yeah.
be his jam.
We had a My Hero panel, and we were talking about him and Bakugo getting in a fight. And then I was like, wait. Wouldn't he be like, let's not fight about this. Let's have a conversation. Like, let's talk. Let's use our words.
It's not
really
very
funny.
manly of you, Bakugo.
That's right.
You know what's manly? Understanding your feelings.
Yeah.
There you go.
Emotional
I like the spin-off.
maturity.
Yeah.
There's a spin-off that's just a therapy
It's
show.
going to be the odd couple, basically, and it'll be Bakugo and Kirishima living as
My
roommates.
therapy
perfect.
academia.
That's right. Mount Lady, I love, and I think that Cana shares this with her. She is kind of in her own world doing her own thing unless people need her. And if people need her, she shows up and does the thing. She's kind of doing her own thing. She may not be as successful as she is if she's taking care of the people she loves. That's what I like about her.
Thank you. Great question. Hi, what's your name?
Hi guys, I'm Tim. I've met all three of you guys over the weekend, but
Oh my god, you guys, it's Tim.
But my question in particular is specifically for Kristen.
Well,
Okay.
then you could do that at the table then. The questions have to be for everybody.
Oh.
You want one for everybody? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I should say, like, if there was like one character that like best matched your personality, who would you say it was?
Ooh. For me, I would say it's Kachina, from Kitchen Impact. She just tries really hard and she fails a lot, but she never gives up. And also, she's sad. And I feel that. She has a whole thing about, she's like, why is life so hard? I'm like, God, I understand that feeling. So I really relate to a lot of things about Kachina. So much so that when I did the audition for her, I actually gave myself like a anxiety attack. Because like she's like, why is my life so hard? And I was like, oh, poor baby. And then I like unlocked a core memory of me laying in my bed as a kid being like, why is my life so hard? And I was like, oh no, that hurts my heart. But I also was like, that's the character I'm going to book. I've auditioned for so many Genshin characters. That'll be the one I book because I'm going to have to revisit these feelings again, but in front of other people. And sure enough, that's what happened. But yeah, I really vibe with Kachina as a person.
Cool. But you guys, characters that you personally vibe with?
Look behind your back.
Maybe Chiba from Beck Mongolian Chop Squad for me.
Oh, nice.
That's an older one, but and you never find this stuff out when you
Yeah.
audition or first hear about it. It's only after the show's finished that you kind of look back and go, oh, yeah, he had some things that kind of I share in common with him. Loved music. I love music. He was encouraging to his friends. He didn't always know the right thing to say and didn't always say the right thing. So that's
Do you
that fits
know
into my
what
world.
character I've always thought you were a lot alike that you play?
Who dat?
The guitar in Show by Rock.
Strawberry Heart.
Yes, Strawberry Heart.
Definitely one of my favorite voices to do.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't know. Every time I saw that one, I was like, that's just Justin as a guitar.
I'm gonna go Beck as well. I'm Paige the parrot, and I also like to call people asshole all the time. So I feel like that works.
I
Yeah.
respect that.
Thank you. That's all it says.
Aw.
Yeah, that's me.
Great question. Thanks for working with
a
me.
good
Great cosplay,
role.
by the way. It looks really excellent. So,
thank you.
No, you're very welcome. So, hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Crystal. Thank you for coming. This panel has been really excellent. I wanted to know from the other side, so we know about how the industry has changed on your end. Because you all have worked as writers and directors and producers, what can Western fans do to impact the kind of flow of the industry? what gets dubbed, what gets licensed? Like, what can we do, if anything?
Wow.
I would say communicate it. You know, you guys, you can be loud if you want to be loud. And I think something that has been detrimental is a certain group of people who like to hate everything. And if those people are loud enough, then the people who actually watch anime can be loud enough. And so I would say communicate to studios, you know, what's important to you, what you like, what you appreciate. Positivity has a tendency to get farther than negativity. When you want change, when you're, you know, so I would always communicate that, you know, write a letter to your senator. I don't, you know.
There is a saying though that it's especially with like the internet, it's like the loudest group of people is not always representative. Like when people hate something, they're very quick to talk about they hate something. But when people love something, they're just like, oh, I loved that, you know? And so having a more loud positivity, like Jamie said, I think would go a long way. Like if we got more of that, it would eventually be more overbearing than the group of negativity.
Yeah, because the negativity is someone's told, go hate this and tell this person you hate it, and they've never even seen it. But they're going to do it because that's what, you know, some YouTuber person told them to do or whatever. Yeah. So,
those wacky YouTubers.
I know. So yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Do you think if we overwhelmed the internet or social media, YouTube, with positive comments, would it break the algorithm?
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
That's what I'm into. Let's do that,
guys.
Help.
Can you organize that for us? Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's an opportunity.
Absolutely.
This is an opportunity.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great
question.
So, friends, we're just about time. What's on? That's all messed up. What's on everybody's docket that you're allowed to share with us as far as upcoming projects goes?
Oh, I'm currently doing Pokemon Horizons. I play Penny and Tatsugiri, all 3 forms. So that's ongoing. Dr. Stone. And Slime, that time I got reincarnated as Slime, is coming back next year. We're getting a movie and a season 4, so we're going to be eating good, which is great because Milim loves to eat.
That's true. Have anything you can?
I would say if you don't already, get that Crunchyroll subscription going, and we got 23, 24, 25 new English dubs starting to come out for the new season, so dig
including
that stuff.
Is it My Hero? My Hero. I was
Final
like,
season.
oh no, am I not allowed to say this?
Of course you are.
Okay.
I don't know what they
I
announced.
was like,
I just say go to the site.
I think it is.
The
I
last
think
season
it's out. Yeah.
of My Hero. Yeah.
That's it. It's
This
here.
is the last season. So.
Bittersweet time.
Yeah. All of those things plus Borderlands 4.
Yes.
I'm a writer on Borderlands 4, so go play it. It's a lot of fun.
So you know it'll be hilarious.
Thank you. Hopefully. And then also the DLC, the first DLC for 4 is Mad Alley and the Vault to the Damned.
Woo!
So I get to be the titular character in that.
Yay.
So that's mine. But yeah, Borderlands 4
I
is my
thought
big
for a
one right
minute
now.
you said tit shower character.
Titular.
And I was like, is Ellie like that? I didn't get that impression.
She is. You should have, because she is.
Okay.
Hey, one final question for me. Would you all like to take a picture with this wonderful audience?
We would love to.
All right, folks,
yeah,
come on up. I'll take our stage selfie.
Everybody wait. Sorry. Everybody hold. Hold.
Pause.
Sorry. If you come to my table, I draw my own artwork. Everything on my table is drawn by me. But I can also draw you as an anime character. It's like a character that you get on the boardwalk, but you'll like it at the end. And you may be like, Kristen, why are you pushing this so hard? My kid started out-of-state college this year. Please come by my table. Thanks.
Can confirm I got one a few months back.
Because
She's
of
drawn
that.
me before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've drawn both of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool.